Today we're talking to Sue Peacock. Thank you so much for joining us. Sue's a volunteer with the Cancer Council of Victoria's Cancer Connect program. She joined the program over 5 years ago after attending a Cancer Survivors Forum conducted by the Council. Now, can you tell us more about yourself and also your contribution towards the Cancer Council of Victoria?
Yes, I was diagnosed with breast cancer nearly 12 years ago now. I went through the treatment, surgery and chemotherapy and the like that most people know about. I was about 5 or 6 years out from my treatment and felt a need to sort of maintain a connection with the cancer community and make sure I was up to date with the different research that was going on. And I noticed an advertisement for a survivors forum being run by the Cancer Council, and so I attended that and met with a lot of different people who were experiencing similar sorts of things as myself as I was coming through the other side of that black tunnel that we've sort of entered into. And at that forum I was made aware of the fact that they were recruiting people to be volunteers for the Cancer Connect program. And so I went through the training and became a volunteer for that program where we provide contact for newly diagnosed people who want to chat to someone about their experience.
So it's one-on-one?
Yes, it is. Someone will ring the cancer helpline and we'll talk to one of the nurses on the line there, but quite often they're wanting to talk to somebody who has actually been through this experience or the nurse might feel that they would get some benefit from that. So they'll be put in contact with someone who matches the situation of the caller as closely as possible. And as a result of that, phone contact will be made and we can talk through what the person's going through and relate that back to our own experience and maybe help them in some way to make that journey a little bit easier.
Well, you represent living proof that there is hope, and it must be very comforting for people who have just been diagnosed to speak to somebody like yourself, because I no doubt there are many adjustments that a person would need to make, like practical things that you'd never think of unless you had been faced with the same sort of diagnosis and treatment than what you've been through.
That's right. A lot of the information that people get when they're first diagnosed is sort of the medical stuff and the treatments and all those sort of things. But we do have to deal with things on a day-to-day basis. And in my case, I'm talking to women with breast cancer, and quite often women are sort of busy themselves in organising everyone else's lives and so forth, and all the support that's around them and trying to deal with everybody. But there can be some real practical issues that they face as well, and they tend to set those aside, but often in a conversation on the phone they will be mentioned. So little things like the practicalities of how to deal with the scar area, the wound, that sort of thing, and how to get out and about, and just some of the little tricks of how to do that. We're able to sort of share how I might have got through a particular situation. It can be quite simple but can maybe free that person up to enjoy their life a little bit better.
So your experience relates to breast cancer specifically. What happens if someone such as a man contacts the service?
Well, anyone can contact the service, male or female. The Cancer Connect program has volunteers that cover the whole range of cancers. Obviously there are many different types of cancers. You can't have someone covering everything, but in most of the more well-known cancers are covered, and there are volunteers that people can be put in contact with. But in an instance where there may not be someone, if it's something a little bit more rare that might need to be discussed, some of the things that are associated with cancer and cancer treatments go across the whole range, and so there's still the Cancer Council will, through this program, connect you with someone who can actually help with a specific question that person might have.
And so what's your message to anyone who has recently been diagnosed with cancer?
Well, you're going to be presented with a whole range of information. You get the show bag of information and so forth from your medical professionals and the family and carers that are around you. But I think that a lot of people are looking to get through that minefield. The Cancer Council provides this helpline, on 13 11 20. People can ring in and can be put in contact with someone that can actually talk to them about the experience and maybe help them in some small way in dealing with this, this journey that they're about to face.
Now, how can our viewers today help you do this wonderful work?
Well, like everything, these things take resources. All of us work as volunteers and give our time very freely, and more than happy to do that. Of course, you know, there are resources that need to be used. So one of the ways in which the Cancer Connect program is actually funded is through the Australia's Biggest Morning Tea. And we have that coming up on the 25th of May, and through the money that's raised through that that program, it helps to support the work that we're doing.
So everyone should have a cuppa to help you out.
Yes.
So if you want to host Australia's Biggest Morning Tea, you can contact the Cancer Council and they can give you the kit that that you need. And then you invite your friends, whether it be at the workplace, at home, anywhere you like, really, big or small, decadent or very basic. Enjoy a cuppa with your friends or workmates, and of course you'll be helping people like Sue help maybe people like us one day. Well, thanks, Sue, for talking about your experience with the illness and your ongoing involvement with the Cancer Council. It truly is inspirational, and I hope this segment can also help the community with a greater understanding and acceptance of cancer. Thank you for your community work and for your time.
Thank you.